Your Honor, I'm going to ask that the court be cleared right now. There's disruption going on. There's laughter, chuckling. You know, there's from members in the audience. There's several members of the gallery that are not part of this proceeding. Going to be asking that this courtroom be cleared.
Well, I'm just going to admonish the people in the back of the courtroom, keep your Snickers to yourself. You can talk about it and do whatever it is you need to do outside when we're done here.
There's video recording going on right now.
We can't have video, Mr. Brown.
Well, here's one.
Video?
No.
No, I'm not.
No.
I'm not.
So here's the thing. I'm not asking permission to audio record. I'm not asking permission. That's granted already. I already got the permission to audio record. I want to audio and video record. And in the subsection, it says it shall be granted unless there's other things like you mentioned, witnesses. There ain't no witnesses in the court. I should be able to video myself, the judge, and the prosecutor. I should be able to video anything that's in this courtroom in front of me. I'm not trying to get anyone back here. Not at all. You know?
What is it that you're videotaping? Because
Just so I got the audio. I want the audio only, really.
Okay.
But
Where's your video?
I don't got it on yet.
Okay.
There's video
No,
going on
I
right
turned it.
there.
I'm just now turning it on, and so I want an audio and video. And in the rule, it says it's supposed to be granted unless there's a reason not to.
And what is your video showing? What are you videoing? What's showing on your feed? That's what I want.
I'm not live streaming.
I know, but
What's showing on my feed right now is nothing. It's just picking up audio because I had it pointed down. But I should be able to. I should be able to video record too, because it says that I'm allowed to unless there's other circumstances. That, you know, it says it should be granted. There's got to be a reason why you're not going to grant it, not just that you don't want me to video record. And there's no reason why.
all right, Mr. Brown, Mr. Garcia, I'm going to allow you to have the video on as long as it is facing forward.
Okay.
You don't need to be showing anybody else.
Yes.
You can show me.
Or not the prosecutor either. Me or the prosecutor.
No.
Okay.
You can put it right there all you want. Okay?
All right.
Now that we got that out of the way, we were talking, Mr. Garcia, about the interview requests. Okay, what was it that you were saying?
That on April 5th
Yes.
at 5:34 p.m. Ms. Casson sent an email to Mr. Brown, which reads as follows. Thank you for your email and for outlining the guidelines.
Well, that was his.
Oh, that was
email to her.
his email. I'm sorry. I apologize. It was at March 15th at 8:34 a.m. Good morning, Mr. Brown. I'm one of the legal advisors at TPD. Our office received your request to interview Sergeant Dustin Dial, Officer David Chandler, Officer Francisco Grigo, Officer Danielle Roberts, and Officer Alan Aguilar. Please be advised that all interviews conducted in connection with this case will be subject to the following guidelines, giving several guidelines that are outlined in the email, which I believe the court has in front of it.
I do.
Okay. Mr. Brown then responds, and bottom line says, as such, I must decline to follow these guidelines.
You got to read the whole thing. Typical.
So at this point, we are at, it would seem, an impasse with regard to the fact that Tucson Police Department has set guidelines in place that Mr. Brown declines to follow. So I leave it to the court to have the interviews conducted in a manner that is going to be workable. We would only ask that the interviews be of a reasonable duration, that they be restricted to the case or topic at hand,
prior restraint.
And that there be no videoing or live streaming of any sort.
All right, so I'm looking at this email. What I'm seeing is that TPD, through Ms. Casson, has outlined the parameters which they are going to use in order to have police interviews, which is the standard. Just looking at it, that is the standard. And I understand, Mr. Brown, your frustration by reading your emails, and you feel that you are getting the runaround with officers not showing up or
Yeah.
rescheduling.
This happened all after that, remember?
Yes.
All this happened before this letter.
I get what you're saying.
Yes.
I'm not immune to your frustration with this.
And
But what I'm going to tell you is that
see, I agreed to doing it at 270 North Stone. See, right from the beginning, I wanted to do it there in the beginning. But they say no video on this side. Every interview that they do is videoed. Everyone they do for a person. When I go in there to make my complaint, they video everything. You know, they don't want me videoing it. See, they video it themselves. So there ain't no way that all these things have already got videos, and I'm asking for them. That the IA, Office of Professional Standards, use videos. Everything is videoed. So you can't say you can't video. That's what these interviews are about. I go by body language. Sometimes I'm looking at my papers and don't see everything. I like to go back and look at it. I'm a big guy in body language. I need to see the person I'm looking at. That's why I wanted to do it this way. But I settled for the phone interviews, you know. But they can't tell me I can't video it if it's a phone interview. All these are phone interviews. They're not saying I can't audio. So why didn't they go forward with it? Because of prior restraint. They think I'm going to take too long, and I don't know why they get that idea. And they think I'm going to ask questions not relevant. How can they get that idea? They're doing this before just because of who I am. You know, because I'm me, and they don't want me videoing it, and they don't want to look stupid on YouTube, and they ain't got no choice because that's what's going to happen because these guys are lying. If they want to get up there and tell the truth, you know, then I wouldn't be here. That's the problem. They don't want to lie on camera, and they're going to.
Mr. Brown.
So
The only thing that I can do is let you know that in order for you to complete the interviews that you want to complete, you're going to have to follow the standards and the procedures that are put in place by TPD. I don't have any authority over how their policies run. I don't have that authority.
You can get a court order to make them interview. That's all I want. I want a court order to make all these guys interview, and that's all I want.
Mr. Arquette, they don't need a court order. They're going to interview.
The lawyer's asking for the court order.
Conditions.
Yeah.
She's asking for the court order.
All right. I don't see that here.
Yeah, look on page 20.
Okay.
Page 20. Let me think it's 20, I think. I'll read it out to you at the court real quick. Thank you for your email. For now, I'll be advising all the officers not to participate in interviews unless they are ordered to do so. So I'm asking for the court order for them to do so. That's all I'm asking for.
All right. I see that. All right. So here's the thing.
And I'd like them found in contempt.
Well,
Mr. Arquette.
if they're ordered to do so, we would only ask that those conditions that Tucson Police, thank you.
Mr. Brown, I will order that they submit to an interview. All four of the, however many there were, I lost that page.
Okay.
I
So
will
here's
order that they do it, but it will have to be on their guidelines. So apparently, because of the back and forth that happened between you and Ms. Casson and the
okay. Can I talk about the guidelines real quick?
wait a second, but you can talk about them, but what I'm telling you right now is that You can tell me how unfair you think they are and why you think that you should be able to do something outside of their guidelines, but I'm telling you that I don't have the authority to tell them.
First of all,
their guidelines.
yeah, if I could say something. First of all, the guidelines are irrelevant. I can't video record if it's done by phone. They was all done by phone. So how can I video record? I can't because they're doing it by phone. Now, if they tell me to go in to the police station and interview, I will never go into that place without having video on because of what they did to me several times and in this court. I have the same problem. I will never go without videoing because they will jump me and they lie. See, I have to video for my protection. Now, I'll go down to the Stone, but none of this is relevant if they do it by phone because I'm not videoing. And you can't say I can't. I got to take as long as it's going to take. I don't know how long. I'm going to be interviewing on why he missed these 3. That's probably going to take a while. So, because they're making it harder and harder. And if we do all this by phone, all these are irrelevant. You can't tell me that I have to take a certain amount of time. If I'm start asking them questions over again, they can say asked and answered. But they're trying to tell me that what's unreasonable to you? I mean, if this guy was there the whole time, he's the problem. Justin Dial, I ain't got to interview anybody that was really there at the time and finish. So that's why I would like the court to order them to look at all their body-worn cameras because these cases are closed now. They got no reason to hold their body-worn cameras from them because the case is already closed and they've been found to be angels. So now I would like to interview these officers on all that, you know. So I would like to have all this information, actually, them to give me the 2 reports requested, and I want to know why Justin Dial missed the first 3 interviews. None of the video wasn't ever a factor. See, it was never a factor because it was all done by, I ain't never did a video interview with him. But if I'm in person, it's my right to video. I have the First Amendment right to video inside the courthouse, and I won on that. They never stopped me from videoing in the courthouse or the police station. That's a true public forum. I can video myself, and if they want to beat me down, I want it on video. Simple as that. I don't want to be beat up by Tucson police anymore. And it has happened to me too many times.
Right,
Since 1993 when I was...
Mr. Brown, before you go into the history of all the things that brought you here today. I am going to grant your motion and I am going to order Officer David Chandler, Sergeant Dustin Dial, Officer Francisco Griego, Officer Daniel Roberts, and Officer Alan Aguilar to go into defense interviews. I am going to tell you, Mr. Brown, that in order for that to happen, you will have to comply with whatever parameters TPD has in the procedures. I will tell you again that I do not have the authority to change their process. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people you need to interview. And
we're going to add the two IA. That's on the very last pages of this packet. You see the guys that did the IA report. Office of Professional Standards. I'm stuck on the old terminology. I'm sorry. Let's see, what page was that? So Dominique is one of them. Let's see here. You see which page the IA, there's 23 pages here. Let's see here.
22 and 23.
Okay, yeah, 22 and 23. Okay, so I need to interview Officer Detective GUTKNECTCHT. Can you pronounce that? I don't know how to pronounce that.
I'm not going to try.
Me neither.
Is this detective a pertinent witness to this particular case and your
Yes.
charges of disorderly conduct and criminal trespass?
Correct. This is a Office of Professional Standards complaint made on this incident. There's 2 of them made on this incident done by 2 different detectives. The second one's on page 22. I'm reading 23 now. You'll see which officer this one is. Yes, this is over this incident, correct.
Mr. Durkamp?
Well, with regard to the Detective Gutnicht, is Mr. Brown requesting the actual IA file?
Yes.
We would ask that there be an in-camera inspection before that.
And that has to go through FOIA?
Right.
All right. All right, that's what I was thinking you were gonna say. All right, Mr. Brown, in order for you to get your hands on the IA report or the professional standards complaint, you gotta go through a FOIA request. That's not something I can do, you gotta do a FOIA request. When you get that, you can submit it to this court for an in-camera inspection, which means I would look at it on my own to see whether it's something that I would allow under the rules of evidence into your trial.
Did he do both of them? He did both of these, didn't he?
His name is on both of them,
Okay, yes.
all right?
So that'll be put on the back burner, but I can continue with these interviews to get them out of the way before so here's my problem is that I can't get due process if I know, until I know, what came out in that, because that was totally on these incidences of what they did wrong against their own general orders. That's what this is about, So
how much time are you asking for?
Oh, I want to continue with the interviews. I don't want any more time. I want to get this thing pressing on. But I would like the court to order the FOIA request to be, because.
Court cannot order a FOIA. It's something, it's an administrative thing that you need to fill out and submit.
But I don't want to do a Freedom of Information Act because I'm doing this through discovery. See, Freedom of Information Act, if I had a court case, I do this all the time on FOIA. It takes them forever. For body-worn cameras, I just got one 4 years ago. These guys, it's not going to work that way because it's going to be after this case is settled. It's going to be after the time limit for, a fast trial. And I'm not asking to go past that. I want to do this within the parameters, And if the court wants to do their other trick where they drop it without prejudice and bring it back on me, and then they put the time back, I know that's probably what they're going to do. That's what happens all the time to me. And I'm okay with that if that's what's going to happen. But I want to start with the interviews of all these officers that witnessed what they did to me. So, and I haven't been able to do it yet. And I would like to have them have access to their body-worn camera. If you read them things, that they're both closed. So that excuse that they can't have access because it's under investigation is over with. So in order for Chandler, especially, before I interview him again, I need him to have his memory back, because he's got no memory at all. If I ask him any question, he goes to his report. I already have his report. And I ask him if he remembers this. He goes, well, let me see in my report if I remember that. This guy, he has like a 5th grade mentality, and he won't answer no questions. He talks around everything, and he just don't remember nothing. He can't remember nothing. I mean, zero. And that's the guy that arrested me.
All right, Mr. Durkea, what is your position regarding the IA stuff?
It's got to be an in-camera inspection.
Yes. No matter how we get our hands on the IA reports, that will be an in-camera inspection.
Right.
Does your office have certain guidelines on how to get those without going through a FOIA?
Well, first of all, there would be a motion, specifically what it is that he wants, and then we would submit it to the department and have it dropped off here, subject to an in-camera inspection. So we need a motion that delineates exactly what it is that he wants.
Okay.
Yeah, and ma'am, and I also would like to put in the officer that was just sitting here. I'd like to put in for his body cam. He's in here recording, and I don't know. I didn't hear you give him permission under that, but I want his body cam. Every time there's an officer in here, I want their body cam with this too.
The body cam has nothing to do with the charges against you for September 26, 2022.
This is your courtroom, and you're telling me I can record, but they're recording.
I don't know that he's recording.
He was recording. I saw it on. I know how their body cams work, ma'am.
Okay. Well,
It was flashing on.
I am not going to order that you give you copies of that. That's not part of this case. All right, so if you want to not have to file a FOIA, you're gonna have to file a written motion requesting the professional standard complaint and specifically what you want from it, so that the state can either respond or forward it.
Right.
All right. Can I hand that motion in right here, or do I have to do it downstairs?
Yeah, do it downstairs. All right, and then when I get that, I will inspect it in camera.
But-
In the meantime, are you asking for a continuance to allow yourself time to interview the
Yeah.
officers?
I have to at this point, because I didn't get to finish any of the interviews
All right,
other than the guy that wasn't there.
how much time do you think you need?
That depends on if they answer. If they do what they did before, I don't know if I'm gonna still have problems. They say that they're gonna do it with a court order, but these guys have qualified immunity and they do what they want. These guys don't follow the law, you know? So
Mr. Durkea, I don't know how much the state can help with this, but the quicker that these interviews get completed, the quicker we can move forward.
Subject to
with
TBD guidelines, I'm
Absolutely.
happy to forward it to Ms. Casson.
Thank you.
And, Your Honor just set it out, so that's perfect, that's fine.
All right,
So if we do these interviews like they want them to do them by phone, there's zero issues of the video. So if we do it like that, you know, I'll do it down there at the 270 South Stone, I'm sorry, 270 South Stone, but I'm gonna video every time I'm in there. There ain't no way I'm not gonna be videoing inside there, and that's my constitutional right. They cannot tell me I cannot video myself or inside there, you know?
Mr.
So,
Brown, all I can tell you is that those are the guidelines that TPD has put out, and that you
Yeah.
will have to deal with that.
but they're irrelevant, like I'm saying, because if we do it by
Whether you
phone,
feel they're irrelevant or not, they are in place. And
They're not in
This
place.
court does not have jurisdiction to change those.
okay.
All right, how much time are you asking for, Mr. Brown? 30 days, 60 days?
I don't know how long it's gonna take these guys to follow the law. Like I said, I'm dealing with the criminal element, so I have no idea how long.
Do you want to set this for
If the
June
prosecution-
22nd, or do you want to set it for July 20th?
So first, it depends on how we're doing the interviews. If we're doing them video, if we're doing them over the phone, then that's easier and it does go faster. I don't gotta go down there and set up all my equipment.
I get
So-
that there's a if and maybe and then,
Yeah.
but I need to know what day to schedule you.
Do we know if they're gonna do it by
I do
audio?
not, we do
Oh.
not, you haven't spoke to them, but
Yeah.
if you do need more time, you can just file a motion with the court downstairs to continue it, and we can give you more time.
Yeah, but their guidelines are unconstitutional, so, and I'm not getting due process.
Mr. Brown, do you want June 22nd or July 20th?
See, if they don't show up, then we're gonna be back here and trying to get them in contempt, right? If they have a court order and they don't do it, then,
They don't, if I have issued an order, if they don't comply with that order, then when you come
Yeah.
back, we will deal with it.
okay?
Okay.
Then and then what was her name, the legal aid that told them not to do it? Are we ever gonna bring her in here? And I wanna find her in
What
contempt.
she told you was that she was advising them not to do it without a court order. I have issued
Yes.
a court order. So
Okay.
you will have that copy with you.
So then to get the court order on the two department, or the two IA guys,
You have to file a written
then,
motion, you have
Yes.
to say specifically
Yeah.
what it is you need from there,
yes,
okay?
to interview them, yes.
All right, so now I need to know June 22nd or July 20th.
Let's make it July 20th.
All right, afternoon again?
Yes, afternoon's fine.
All right, July 20th at 2 o'clock.
So if I order the body cam from that guy and I don't get it for 5 years, then I have
Whose body cam are you missing?
No, I'm missing the one for Chandler, actually. Chandler, on the day of the incident, I'd never get his body cam. I got him the day after.
Have you ordered that? Can you check, please?
The only ones I got from Chandler is the day after, when he went back to coach the witness. That's all I got from Chandler.